guys, how do people become customers? How is it that we can take someone who doesn't know that we exist all the way through to repeat buying from us and referring us to their friends? Whatever business you're in, you've obviously got customers, whether you're business to business or business to consumer, whether you do everything online via an e-commerce store or a service website, or maybe you have an actual bricks and mortar building and you need foot traffic. Whatever business you do, you need to understand this process. Now, typically, we've all been there. If we've ever been to a networking event, people will throw business cards at us. They'll say, hey, I'm Joe Bloggs, I'm an accountant, take a business card. Or we've all got those annoying spam emails saying, I was wondering if we could do some SEO work together. What you're asking for there, or what they are asking for, and this is why most people go wrong, is you're asking for marriage before you've even had a first date. Typically, businesses who take that approach go, okay, well, I need to find a customer and then I need to get them to buy. And sales guys, particularly from the 80s, will say, look, if you approach 100 people, one of them's bound to buy from you. That, frankly, is an enormous waste of time, and I'm quite a lazy person. Also, that number is a little bit low. It's actually closer to 1 in 1,000 people will go through this process. Maybe you've got an advert that goes straight through to a sales landing page. That's got a 0.1% conversion rate. Also, if you approach 1,000 people and just say, hey, I'm Mike Killen, I'm a web designer, do you need a website? Roughly only one of them will say yes. What we want to do is eliminate this, and also there's a ton of steps in here that are missing. This is not a sales process, it's not spin selling, it's nothing like that. They're literally just the psychological steps that someone needs to go through before they are happy to hand over cash to you. So the first thing, that doesn't change. They need to find you. You need to touch base with them, something along the lines of a networking event, a face-to-face welcome. And it's online, this could be an advert, a social post, blog traffic, something. So you need to find that person and they need to find you. After that, they need to like you. Now, the like bit is obvious, frankly. This is anything from a handshake, an introduction, a smile. If it's online, it's your graphic design or your logo. Basically, what is it about me or about my business that isn't a threat? That's all we're trying to say. We are not a threat. We don't want to eat you. We don't want to run away with your tribe. We don't want to lower your social standing, anything like that. This is a safe place. That's literally all you need to do, which typically we do with a handshake. After that, they need to understand what you do. Now, most people, when they say, so what is it that you do, will turn around with, I'm a web developer, I'm an accountant, or I run a high street shop. That's not what you do. What you do is provide some kind of benefit and you solve a problem. When people say to me, Mike, what do you do? I don't go, I'm a digital marketer. I say, I help people identify their most profitable customer and then generate more sales from that customer base. At no point do I mention websites or social media or SEO or anything like that. That's what you need to do. Online, that could be a video, it could be a decent title to the page, a few bullet points, make it simple. Make someone understand what you do really, really quickly. After that, they need to trust you. Now, this is where they begin getting invested in your business, in you. Why do they come to you as their trusted source of content? Why are you the authoritative source of content? Typically, this could be done through presentation or public speaking, delivering some kind of insight about their problem and their business, making them understand their problem a bit clearer is the fastest way to get someone to trust you. And it's also just asking questions. Online, this can be done by your blog, it can be done by social media. There's tons of ways to build trust, and that's all we're trying to do is build trust. Why do people come to you? To prove that you are the source of authority. After that, and this is where we begin to see some revenue, they need to test you. They need to test that what you're saying is not only true, but it's going to deliver some kind of value. Typically, we could do this with a consultation or a trial, something with a low price point. We'll go into this a bit more later. But the point is they need to put some kind of skin in the game. They need to say, okay, I'm willing to test that what you're saying is true. Of course it is going to be true because you have an awesome product. That's when we begin to see people moving towards the buy stage. And then finally, that's when they end up at buy. That's when they've decided to hand over some cash and buy one of your core products or your flagship products. After this, again, most people ignore, is repeat. Now, when someone repeats buying from you, this is where the majority of your revenue should come from. It's something like 80% of your revenue should come from 20% of your customers. If you have a core group of people and you've solved problems for them and you've done a good job, surely they're going to want you to solve other problems. If you're in any kind of industry that provides a return on the initial investment, whatever that is, from hairstylists, high street shops, shoe shops, business to business, hardware consulting, accountancy consultancy, whatever it is, you need to deliver some kind of value. If you can do that once, people will want you to do it again. If you can solve one problem, people will want you to solve another problem. Finally, referrals. How do we get someone excited to refer you on to their customers, or onto their colleagues, or onto their peers? We can reward referrals and speed this process up. This is where we begin to see more businesses come through. It means we have to spend less on advertising and spend less on lead generation, because the majority of our work should be coming through referrals. Most people go for word of mouth, but how can we manufacture that and get people excited to refer you? Ultimately, this step-by-step process here, just 8 steps, is all you need to start figuring out how to get customers who don't know that you exist all the way through to repeat buying from you. My job as a marketer is to provide a response online via the website for each one of these psychological needs. If someone needs to find us, what's the appropriate response via a website for them to be able to move on to the next step? If someone needs to understand us, what's the next step? If someone needs to test us, what's the next step? I put those steps together on a website, which I call a response funnel. And I'll go into that in another video. Ultimately, this bit here is what you need to focus on, to how to move customers on from not knowing that you exist all the way through to repeat buying. I provide the response funnel that actually does it. Thanks very much. I've been Mike Killen.